Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
Leaked documents from George Soros' Open Society Foundation continue to reveal the extent to which the group influenced the political response there to Europe's refugee crisis. Now, joining me is Margaret Howell. Let's go ahead and break this down. So basically, to the tune of about $600,000, they are pushing this pro-refugee agenda.
That's right. So they're trying to counter xenophobia, xenophobic attitudes in Europe. And he's doing more than doing this mainstream polite push to try to normalize the refugee climate that we're in. He's bullying and censoring what he can't normalize in the collective psyche. And 600,000 in lobbying efforts and wanting to make the religion of peace, us be more tolerant to it, the same religion of peace. He doesn't say, though, whether he's trying to normalize tolerance within the religion of peace, which is very astonishing to me, because we're talking about the same religion of peace that, Milo Yiannopoulos coined a piece last week called The London We Lost, and how he talked about, as a gay man, he doesn't really feel safe walking around his own hometown any longer because he knows that how they feel about him, and throwing them off buildings and hanging them from cranes is what he cited. So the tolerance message only goes towards one side, unfortunately, with this massive lobbying push.
Right. And so what about spending money to educate these people that are coming to the West? You know, here's the assimilation effort. Welcome to the West. You're going to love it here, but here's how we do things. Not, hey, by the way, why don't you go ahead and beat up women who are in there sunbathing in the park in France.
Exactly. So the countering the anti-migrant rhetoric and toxic narrative surrounding migration in Europe, to be exact, whatever that means.
Yeah. Well, it means threatening people with prison if they dare offend them on Facebook, like Angela Merkel has as well. And, you know, we see this. This is just kind of the name of the game here with George Soros. He's got his hands in everything, his group, because they are fomenting unrest, because they want to destabilize the planet. That's the only way they're going to be able to bring in this one world government. You have to destabilize. You've got to create the problem. And they're right there to provide the solution. I thought it was very interesting that there was an article today about some illegal immigrants that were caught there at the border, and they're basically telling the Border Patrol, Obama told us to come.
Correct. So we're talking about border agents that capture people illegally trying to cross the southern border. And these agents, they capture them, they immediately release them 9 out of 10 times, Leanne. So they're free to either redo it, and oftentimes we see that they do. And this happened in a sanctuary city, of course, not like San Francisco in terms of being a sanctuary city, but San Diego is right up there. And they said, look, Obama said we can come. It's okay. We've got his okay.
They didn't say the president. They said specifically Obama.
Right, exactly.
You know, that this is the message they're getting, is that Obama said it's okay. And, you know, this is what's happening in these refugee countries as well. All they got to do is claim political asylum, and they can come right in. And so they don't want to go to the countries that'll actually take them. Like I know Portugal is saying, hey, come on in, we'll take you. And they don't want to go there. They want to go where the handouts are.
Right. We have
just like coming into the U.S.
We have such a massive program in place. So for the refugees that the State Department has rubber stamped in, you won't believe the benefit package. The visa application process is so streamlined. It's basically like, hello, you're in. Oh, by the way, here's a house. Here's our education. Here's food indefinitely. Have as many children as you'd like. We've got you.
We know we promised that we would cure the homeless veteran population. That was one of Obama's pledges. That hasn't happened, but he's going to fast track people who are going the illegal route to come through here. Not rewarding the people who have been patiently waiting, trying to abide by the laws of coming to this country legally and going through the rigmarole of the whole visa process. And Ron Paul has an article up at Infowars.com, how to solve the illegal immigration problem. He doesn't want walls. He doesn't want government databases, no biometric national ID cards. How to solve it? Not a penny in welfare for illegal immigrants. It's really that simple. Don't reward people.
I mean, I love Dr. Paul. I agree with him on so much. I have such a deep respect for him. But in this case, Leanne, you know, he's all about small government, and I am as well. But isn't it the job of the federal government to secure the border? And that's what he attacks. He's like, okay, well, if you build a wall 8 feet high, you're going to find somebody with a ladder that's 9 feet long. So he makes a good point, but at the same time, the most basic job of the federal government is to secure the border.
Well, and that's very true. And as we saw in that report, with Joe Biggs as well, the wall, it's more like a fence. It's, there are barriers that are being penetrated, if you will, all over the border there. So and also too, if you construct the wall, it's going to keep us in as well. So, I feel like they've definitely got their hands tied, but you would definitely curb the influx of these people if they knew they weren't going to get these handouts and get kind of fast-tracked in, just like you said, here's a house, here's all the benefits, here's your food stamps. Like this other family that's here, this one just made me so angry. This was a New York deli owner, and they were charged with food stamps fraud, and they actually broke in and committed a bunch of robberies, stealing kitchen cabinets, hot water tanks, and heating units from an unoccupied rental property. And when they get
she has her
charged,
middle fingers up.
She's like, F you, America. Are you happy now? Now we have to pay for the crimes you committed. Screw you. Well, thank you, Margaret. Be sure to join us here tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central, for our live coverage of the Commander-in-Chief Forum.
Introducing Secret 12, the new Infowars Life vitamin B12 formulation. Now, InfowarsLife.com is excited to announce that we can bring you our most bioactive, powerful form of B12 that has been developed with our exclusive perfected process. Secret 12 is a binary of nutramedical grade, bioavailable coenzyme forms of B12. Secure your revolutionary Secret 12 formula right now at InfowarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139.